Good morning, everyone. My name is Kiara, and today I'll be presenting the primary project planning diagram. Project planning is a process of detailed planning that generates answers to common operational questions. Some questions are like, what resources are required to perform the task? How long will each task take to perform? How much does each task cost? How are issues being tracked? Who is performing each task? And of course, more questions. It all depends on what kind of operation you're running. All of those questions and more questions help managers monitor the project better. So basically, that's when these diagrams take place because they help generate the answers for each of those questions. The two primary diagrams that are most frequently used in project planning are PERT and Gantt charts. Here we have the SMART criteria for successful objectives. SMART. Specific, measurable, agreed upon, realistic, and time frame. The project objectives are the major elements of the projects. Every project objective should have all of those criteria, and it should also include metrics so that projects can be measured. The metrics should also include the cost, the schedule, and the quality metrics. Here we have the PERT chart. Okay? PERT stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique. PERT is a graphical network model that depicts a project and the relationship between them. It consists of number nodes, whether it can be rectangles or circles, just like we see here. The chart basically represents events or milestones, and those events are in the circle, which are joined by the arrows, which represent the task in the project. See, are joined with each other. Okay. This chart is a tool that helps to schedule, organize, and coordinate tasks in a project. The PERT should always have the activities required to complete the project, the expected time that each activity will take to complete, the dependencies between each activity, and the logical start and end points for each set of activities. So let me show you closely. All right, so this is the start and the end point. Okay. Then we have here, it says normal activities. So those are the black circle with the black arrow. And the red one is the critical path, which I will explain in a few minutes. Okay. The PERT chart should always have a critical path, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago. The critical path in any project is the longest path of interdependent activities that requires to achieve a logical endpoint. This analysis determines which activities are critical to the project schedule. Here we have a Gantt chart. A Gantt chart is a simple bar chart that lists the project task vertically against the project time frame. This is my favorite chart. This chart shows the actual progress of the task against the planned duration. The Gantt chart is a visual view of the task scheduled. This Gantt chart shows milestones. Milestones are represented by the diamonds. You see here this little diamond right here? Those are the milestones in the Gantt chart. It doesn't have the milestones, which are the diamond, does not have a duration. A milestone marks the end of a piece of work. So basically, those are the milestones. Those are the time they took, and then once it comes to an end point, it will be the symbol of the diamond. Okay. Each of those diamonds, you have to label it as as a date, which will be very important. Okay. There is also a Gantt chart software who everyone uses, such as managers, IT departments, marketing teams, constructions teams, healthcare teams, and even government teams. Of course, there are more, but those are just a few examples. And it also helps individuals such as me. In a Gantt chart, you can plan, schedule projects, team collaboration, set a due date, assign each team a task. You can even attach files, comments, or notes, and even get email alerts. So I'm really amazed by the way this chart can help every kind of project. And as I mentioned, even myself, by starting planning. Of course, you don't see the plan, but I think plan should be number one. You plan everything. And then it goes to the analysis, the design, the development, and the testing. Just like Mr. Segarra explained, as in a different kind of diagram in the class, it all starts by planning, and before you push out the project or anything anything you're doing, you need to go through certain steps. So this will be the steps. When you plan something, you determine the project scope, to secure the project sponsorship. So it's basically mostly of the scope nature of the part of the project, and then it comes with the analysis, the designs, the developments, and the testing, which is the final one. Okay, so here's listed, and then here it goes one by one. Alright, here's a brief summary on what a project planning should have. Whether you choose the PERT chart or the Gantt chart, it should have the following: a description of the project scope, a list of activities, a schedule, time estimates, cost estimates, the risk factors, resources, assignments, responsibilities. That's what it should always have. But in order to have a really good project planning, it should have all of this plus this. It should have the estimate for revenue, the strategic necessities, the measurements, the reporting methods, the details, and most important, the communication. The project manager must communicate the plan to every member of the project team and to any stakeholders and executives. If you have a good project plan, it informs not only the leaders and the managers, but also the stakeholders of the benefits of the projects, and it justifies the investments, the commitments, and the risk of the projects as it relates to the overall mission of the organization. Basically, what it means, it gives you assurance to everyone that the project is going well by following those steps. Managers need to continuously monitor the projects to measure their success. If a project is failing, the manager must cancel the project and save the company any further project costs. Canceling a project is not necessarily failure as much as it is successful resource management. So that's what I got from the book, that what happens when they don't have a good project planning. But with these diagrams this charts that I just showed you, if each project have those charts, it can really help plan a good project planning. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope this was very informative. Have a good day.